Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the MotoGP Fantasy Preview Live, this time for the Indonesian GP. That is right, we are at the start of a very big triple header coming up in the MotoGP World Championship with just a handful of races to go and the tightest title race in, how many years? I think it was 1992, something like that. After 14 rounds, there's only 3 points in it. So certainly going to be an interesting one this weekend indeed. As well, after recent news as well, there's been a bit of breaking news sensation recently with Pedro Acosta coming up, finally confirmed in the gas seat with Pol Espargaro, vacating that one for him, heading to a test rider role next season. And the big news, of course, is that Marc Marquez will be leaving Repsol Honda with the imminent announcement, we do imagine, of where he will be going soon, very for next season. Now, of course, today joining us, we do have Moto2 rider Darryn Binder, so we'll bring Darryn in and say hello to him now. Hi, Darryn. How are you? Hope you're all good.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me on.
No worries. Thank you for coming on. Of course, Darryn, you're in quite a unique position where last year you were in the MotoGP class here in Indonesia, so then now you've almost got to relearn the track again. It's going to be a little bit of a busy weekend for you, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky enough to have a few more laps around this track than the other Moto2 riders, as I did a bit of testing here last year in the race. But yeah, let's see. I think they've resurfaced it again since we last raced, yeah, and obviously this time around I'm on a Moto2, so yeah, a little bit things to learn and understand, but overall the track's still the same, so looking forward to it.
And how's the year been for yourself? Obviously, you've had some bad luck with injuries and crashes, but most of those have not really been your own fault either. So it's been a little bit of a difficult year in that sort of sense. But when you've been on the track and had those times where you've been fit and on the bike, you've definitely put in some good performances. So how would you kind of look back on your year so far?
Yeah, this year, it started off really well, and I was really starting to find my feet at the beginning of the year, and then unfortunately I made a small mistake in America, having a little crash, and I ended up breaking my hand, and I was out for a couple of races, and when I came back I just really struggled to find my form again. I had a lot of discomfort in my right hand that I broke in America, and then I ended up making a mistake in Austria, and unfortunately I ended up hurting myself again, but that gave me a little bit of time off, so I managed to go and get the plates taken out of my hand. So yeah, I kind of tried to kill two birds with one stone there. Gave my back a little bit more time to heal while my hand was healing, and yeah, I came back and I feel a lot better. So since I've been back the last two races, I feel myself again, and I feel like I'm starting to get used to everything again, and yeah, I just want to try and finish this season off as best I can, and yeah, just build for next year. So that's the plan, and so far it's been all right. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really super happy with my team, and I'm so glad that I'm got another opportunity with them next year. So yeah, right now we're just building for that.
Yeah, it's good to see, obviously, your recent confirmation that you'll be with the same team next year, and a new teammate coming in with Senna Aegis as well. But certainly good at least that you're back to 100% fitness. And of course, this place last year you had a pretty good ride in the wet. So hopefully, whether it's wet or dry, it'll be a repeat performance as well.
I hope so.
Right, Darryn, so we do need you to do a little bit of a job for us, just to help us out with our MotoGP Fantasy team. Now, you have said you haven't played the game yet, but that's fine. It's pretty easy and simple to do. We'll just have a chat about it, and you tell me what the changes you want to make. We'll throw those in. Now, of course, we've already discussed, of course, you need to bring your brother in, Brad, who's doing pretty well at the minute as well in MotoGP, doing a fine job. So we'll have a quick look at what we've got left. We've got 500,000 salary left to work with. I think when we had a look earlier, Brad was about 3.2, wasn't he? So Brad's 3.2 million. So if you want to bring Brad in for now, we need to either take two riders out straight away, or you can take Jorge Martin out. But of course, Jorge Martin at the minute is doing quite well, so maybe he's not the one to remove.
So if I take 2 riders out and bring him in, then whatever money's left, I have to pick a rider with.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Which, depending on how much money it will be, you could be left with not too many options. But I mean, we'll have to see.
Sure. And then, so I can only change 2 things, right? Either one rider and the constructor.
Yeah, I mean, you can change whatever 2 things you like. If you just wanted to change the constructor and the team, you could do that. But obviously, you want to bring your brother in, so we need to change. If you want to bring your brother in, unfortunately, we probably do need to take 2 riders out, and that will be our 2 changes.
All right, let's do this.
So the big question is then, of those 4, which 2 are you going to remove for now?
Well, I'm going to keep Martin as he's been on fire lately.
Yep.
I reckon I'm going to keep Miguel because he won here last year.
He did,
Even though maybe the conditions might be a bit different, but let's just go with him having been the first ever winner here. So I guess we're going to have to drop Mark and Maverick.
All right. Yeah, 2 big names, but they're going out anyway. So let's bring in Brad then. Let's bring Brad in. Where is he? He's down here. 3.2 million. And then what does that leave us with? It leaves us with 2 million. So it's not going to give us too many options. Jack Miller's actually 2 million, your brother's teammate. So that's
there we go. Put in Jack.
So yeah, straight in with Jack. Okay.
100%.
Easy. Gone for the full KTM
The dream
lineup.
team.
I like it. So there's another part of this that I haven't explained to you yet, Darren. So you see at the top here we have these 2 gold riders, the 2 KTM boys at the moment. And then we have the 2 silver riders as well, Jorge Martin and Miguel Oliveira. What it means with the gold and silver is that the gold riders score double the amount of points as the silver riders. So obviously Jorge Martin at the moment is kind of the man in form in MotoGP. If he was, you think, on for like a victory this weekend, whether it's a sprint or the race, it's probably a good idea to have him in gold. But then it depends if you want to take Jack out and then maybe see him later and he tells you why'd you take him out of the gold riders. Or your brother, because that won't go down too well, I imagine.
Nah, Brad's got this one in the bag. I'm confident. Yeah. I'm sure of it. Yeah. He's sticking in gold. He's going to do it.
Well, actually, you had a bit of a battle with him last year as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I caught him in I think with like maybe 2 or 3 laps to go, and I think he was on his way backwards, and then when I passed him, he seemed to wake up and switch on. And he ended up getting me back, the little bugger.
Yeah, well, there's a pretty good slow-mo, I think, on the last lap where he comes up your inside, and then you look over at him like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I remember it clearly. I was quite surprised because when I caught him, I was like, oh, I'm going way faster than this guy, but he seemed to wake up.
Okay, so do you want to make any more changes then? Do you want to switch the order at all? Or are you happy with how it is with Brad and Jack in goal?
I'm going to just run it how it is.
Run it how it is. All right, not bad. I like it. Well, it's a pretty good team anyway. Of course, Brad doing really well at the moment, especially since they got that new trick chassis there at KTM, the carbon fiber one. Jack's found his form again too. Obviously, Jorge Martin on form at the moment. And Miguel Oliveira, who won here last year, so not a bad option at all. And of course, Ducati and Muni VR46, you can't go too wrong with them at the minute. For yourself this weekend, Darren, of course, as you say, like new surface, new bike for you around here. Do you enjoy the track last year? Because it's quite a unique track, a lot of riders were saying. How was your take?
Yeah, I did enjoy it. I mean, obviously for us, the race was a little bit different. I think it actually worked out in my favor because I hadn't qualified so well in the dry, but the grip was really insane here in the rain. And I really enjoy the layout though. So I think this year being in Moto2, everything's different. And I mean, the last couple of races, I've been slowly but surely finding my form again and getting more confident with the Moto2 again. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this weekend, and let's see. Hopefully I really need to qualify well. I think that's the biggest thing in Moto2, try and stay out of trouble in the first laps, and then the race is always a lot different if you qualify in the front 2 or 3 rows. So try to do that and just try and make my way into the top 10, and let's see. I want to be fighting as close to the front as possible.
Well, of course, yeah, we'll see what you can do this weekend. Of course, the other thing as well, Darryn, is how big of a change was it from the MotoGP bike to the Moto2? Was it maybe not so big of a change as you expected, or was it completely just forget what you'd learned the year before and learn something else?
Yeah, I think the change from Moto3 to MotoGP was 10 times worse than going from MotoGP to Moto2. But
yeah,
yeah, unfortunately, like I learned so many things in MotoGP, but a lot of them kind of were for nothing going to Moto2 because we had no traction control or no electronics, anything like that. So it was kind of good though, because it's one less thing to think about. You just get on the bike. All you got to think about is riding and getting the bike set up to whatever suits you. So, and I think one of the biggest things is because everybody's on the same bike, you more or less get that happy medium setting, and you just kind of need to go out there and work on it yourself and get used to it. And I think it's really good for me, because last year I feel like I really struggled sometimes with the electronics and that stuff. It was a really big step to try and learn in that. So coming to Moto2, it was a little bit more easy, should I say. But yeah, it definitely, I feel like coming back wasn't as big of a step. So I think it was a bit easier for me.
All right, yeah, it's still not easy though, but definitely quite.
Yeah, no, nothing's easy. Otherwise, everyone would do it.
Exactly. Okay, last thing for you, Darryn, before we will let you go and crack on with whatever you got to do today. We'd like to ask everyone to predict the podium for Sunday. So don't worry about the sprint podium, but just the podium for the main Grand Prix for the MotoGP class. Who's your top three?
My top three. Brad's gonna win. 100%. I definitely feel Jorge Martin's going to be on the podium.
Yeah.
And let's say Jack as well.
Okay, I like it. Jack,
I feel like he's been finding his form lately, and I'd love to see him back on the box, and it'll be cool to see Brad there as well.
Definitely. Okay, not a bad prediction. I think very, very possible, that one. So good luck this weekend, Darryn. Of course, going to be an interesting weekend. Hopefully it does stay dry for us, but you never know here in Indonesia. But anyway, enjoy it and have fun out there.
Thank you very much, Bud. Appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you. So that is going to be Darryn Binder's team then for the MotoGP Fantasy preview here for the Indonesian GP. No surprise there. He's brought in his brother Brad. Of course, certainly no surprise anyway for anyone bringing in Brad Binder at the minute. He's doing very well indeed. Jack Miller comes in as well. Had a little bit of a revival there in Japan. Got the front end feeling that he was looking for back a little bit. So hopefully this weekend in Mandalika he can make more forward progress and get back to where he was fighting earlier on in the year. Of course, Jorge Martin stays in the team, stays in silver, but that's not too bad of a thing at all when you've got Brad Binder and Jack Miller in the gold. And Oliveira, the Rainmaster from 2022, who won here in Mandalika and also won that wet race in Thailand as well. He stays in the team in our silver rider. Of course, as always, the constructor is Ducati and the team is Mooney VR46. Now, we do have a little bit of housekeeping just to run you through this week. Of course, it will be that Marco Bezzecchi has unfortunately broken his collarbone, but he did have surgery 4 or 5 days ago, and he is flying here right now. I'm not too sure if he's arrived at the circuit just yet. I think he's meant to arrive in the next kind of few hours or so, but he is hoping to ride, be cleared fit, more importantly, then ride, and hopefully we'll see how he is on the bike as well. His teammate Luca Marini also will be returning this weekend, so back to full strength lineup for the VR46 team, hopefully pending those final fit checks. Also, Enea Bastianini, another Ducati rider, is back in action this weekend as well. Of course, Bastianini had that a couple of injuries after that Turn 1 collision at Barcelona at the Catalan Grand Prix, so it's good to see Enea back. Of course, he's missed out on a lot of action this year with several injuries, so hopefully now this is Enea slowly working his way back towards the front. It's going to be a big one, of course. One final one, actually, is Alex Rins. We're not too sure. We presume he wants to try and ride, but we'll see. It's going to be a big one, of course. Today, if you've been looking on Twitter, I'm sure you'll know that there's lots of rumours circulating about Marquez and an imminent announcement with him. We're not sure when that will be, but as we do know, everyone has put 2 and 2 together, and it's looking like it will be Mark Grassini, but let's see what happens with that. Now, in terms of the leagues, there is still the MotoGP Flyaways League going on. We'll have a quick check-in. We're doing absolutely terrible. But Gasly Racing is still at the top of that, and he's still got about, 18-point lead, so not doing too bad at all. Of course, if you win that, you will win a GoPro Hero 12 and 2 grandstand tickets to a Grand Prix of your choice next season, so not a bad one at all. So then here's a quick final look at Darryn Binder's team for this weekend. He will, of course, be hoping to have a good weekend, just like he did here last year in Mandalika, with Brad Binder in his team and Jack Miller, the 2 KTM boys there in the gold, Jorge Martin, Miguel Oliveira. Thank you very much for watching along at the MotoGP Fantasy Preview Live for Indonesia, and enjoy the action this weekend.